Mom left husband of 14 years for soulmate only to be rejected.
Ooh.
I respect leaving before holding on to that new branch.
Yeah, she jumped.
She jumped. I don't blame her for it. I think that's the better way to do it.
Especially if she was just going to eventually cheat.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, you might as well just go, listen, I've had more sexual attraction to this one guy than I've ever had to you. I'm going to cheat on you.
Oh, man. She is probably, I don't know. She might not be in a good place, but I'm sure she's discovered some stuff about herself.
It's always about discovering yourself with women. I've discovered so much about myself. Like what? Potato chips are salty. You're like, wow, great. I'm so glad that you've discovered this about yourself.
Yep.
So it takes two souls to tango. A mom of two has been mocked. You got kids? So a mom of two has been mocked on social media after revealing she left her longtime husband for a man she believed to be her soulmate, only for him to promptly reject her.
I gotta say, this was handled pretty maturely for what it is.
I don't know. Well, let's find out.
Okay.
So Amanda Trenfield has been described by critics as a self-destructive sociopath for writing about the emotional saga in her new book, When a Soulmate Says No.
Oh, and then she made a book out of it?
Yeah. So less on her side now?
With the kids aspect, because let's say, so she's been married to her husband for 14 years.
2 kids.
You got to assume they're 14 years and younger.
Right.
You don't, I think if this person was her soulmate, I think she should have waited till the kids got to college.
Yeah, souls don't age.
Yeah, exactly. And then there would have been a real test for her, because if he all of a sudden went off with somebody else.
Right, that's what I do with buying stuff.
Yeah.
I go, ooh, I want this. I should hold off before I buy it to make sure that I really want it.
Yeah, is this an impulse?
Right, is
it just really sparkly?
And then I sleep on it, and the next day I go, yeah, I don't have time for that thing anyways.
Yeah.
So an excerpt from the tome published in the Sydney Morning Herald last week sparked ridicule from readers who claimed the rejection was karma for the fact that she had blown up her own marriage. She ruined her life for nothing. One of the biggest losses we've ever seen, one reader quipped with glee. In the extract, Trenfield describes an electric encounter with her so-called soulmate, which occurred while she was at a dinner party with her husband. I would freaking murder you.
Right, and then I would also...
Not usable in the court of law. Just going to say that real now.
And I think something she should have taken into task is what if the other party was just very charismatic, and everyone feels this way about this individual, just an extremely likable person.
So that's kind of how I felt with you.
Oh,
so I had a big old crush on you, right? Well, it was a young crush, big young crush.
Perfectly classified.
Yes. And a buddy of mine had come up to me and go, hey, do you ever feel like when you talk to Melissa that she's flirting with you? And I said, and I kind of went, yeah, because I did feel that way.
Yeah.
Right? And so I go, yeah, I do. And he goes, me too, but she doesn't say anything that's sexual or anything like that. I just think that she's just flirting with me. Like she's having, and I go, yeah, that's how I feel too. You freaking idiot. And so that was kind of, and so for me, I was a little bummed at first. But and then I remembered that I'm too confident for my own good, like arrogant. And I went, no. He's got to be wrong. So anyways, here's her part of it, right?
Okay.
And I'll try to sell it as best I can. As I settled into my seat, I looked up and immediately lost my breath. Trenfield wrote, when our eyes met, there was an instant familiarity that ran deeper than water cooler chat. These eyes had locked before, 12 years earlier. His name was Jason. I hadn't forgotten. Trinfield did not explain the circumstances under which she previously met Jason, but she had felt an immediate attraction and soon struck up a conversation with him. Over the course of the evening, my attraction to Jason developed. I soon became aware of his every breath. I unconsciously mirrored his pace. You might be...
a stalker.
I was going to say a predator. That seems very much like I've read this before in like a father teaching a son how to hunt, but the father was a wolf and the son was a baby wolf, and they were hunting like a deer.
Yeah, I could see where that's coming from. I think it comes more for me for the stalker thing. It's
I mirrored his pace. He doesn't hear my footsteps because my pace is exactly his.
Well, there are those people that they see someone and what reflects onto them is completely different than what happens in a realistic sense. Like they'll have this whole relationship with this person inside their head.
Yeah, like Toto.
Yeah, Toto. Toto who?
Toto from nobody's gonna know this. Jujutsu Kaisen. The big guy, muscle bound.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
yeah, just like him. Yeah, and in that character's case, it's completely fine because the other person, his subject of his admiration really rose to accept it. But it sounds like this lady's case did not go that well.
No.
And
I unconsciously mirrored his pace. Trenfeld swooned. I caught myself embarrassingly.
In his bushes, no.
Yeah. Embarrassingly looking at his chest through his slim-fitted white evening shirt. Yes. He had a fit, toned, and attractive body. But was it his chest that I was drawn to?
You know what makes me wonder about this lady too? I think she's being faced with a very attractive man from how she describes him. And then you know how women hit their sexuality later in life.
Yeah, they hit their peak sexual.
Yeah.
That's at like 36.
I think it's that combo for her right now.
I think that's what it is. So the pair continued to drink and talk into the night, with the author insisting that her attraction to Jason only intensified as the hours went by. By the time the group left the restaurant late in the evening, all my senses were on high alert. It was abundantly clear that the energy between Jason and me was somehow charged, Trenfeld alleged. The pair ended the evening with a hug as Trenfeld whispered into Jason's ear, "Oh!
No!
Oh, God!"
He's just trying to extract himself from her hug.
Yeah.
Get
So
out
she
of
whispers into his ear, "This isn't over.
Ugh.
I need to see you again." Ugh.
I don't think this guy has done anything to show her he's welcoming her advances.
No, other than have a really tight fit bod that you could bounce a nickel off of and put
really
a
should have buttoned
on.
up that last button.
I'm in love with him. Jason.
Gosh, and they were with a group of friends too.
It's like Jason
And
Statham.
she's just getting
That's
hot
who it is. I've seen him before.
We locked eyes at his movie.
Yeah. Was it his chest I was attracted to? Or his bald head and bulging biceps? And his ability to do double air kicks while inexplicably not ripping his pants? I don't know.
I forgot he does those, huh?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
So I had never felt anything like this before. I had never experienced this sensation, she gushed. I now know without hesitation, without question, without any doubt in my mind, my body, or my heart, that the energy we experienced that evening was our souls connecting.
And then you remember she has 2 kids at home and a husband.
I left the dinner party a different woman.
Yeah.
Nice. So did Bruce Jenner. So the author continued to... Tranny joke. So the author continued to coo over the intoxicating experience with Jason, writing, I knew in my heart, in my soul, in the very fabric of my being that I had profoundly changed. I couldn't articulate the feelings, the sensations, the experience, but boy, could I give adjectives. The connectedness I experienced with Jason was at a level impossible to describe. All I knew for certain was that this one encounter in the most unlikely of places, under the most unusual of circumstances, had dramatically altered my life.
Yeah, she's, I mean, this is a written book, so needless to say, she's had time to think about this experience and really embellish it.
Yeah.
Lady, you're wanting what you can't have.
Yeah, this is grass
You
is greener.
harlot.
This is grass is greener syndrome.
Yeah.
So less than a month later, Trenville ended her 14-year marriage with her husband, despite not having had any further communication with Jason since the night of the dinner party. So the woman who had always been so careful, so planned, so organized, so clear about the path her life would take had just made the most dramatic decision of her life. One affecting those dearest to her, her family. Now, if they were the most dearest to you, you wouldn't have done this. In spite of her memoir's title, the passage printed in the Australian newspaper ended on a cliffhanger and left out the part where Trenville gets rejected by Jason. So the piece quickly went viral on Twitter, with many seeming to enjoy the prospect of Trenfield's heartbreak. Of course, the soulmate said no. She ghosted her husband after one night. Lady, your kids will read this one day and will know that you blew up the family because you got too horny on Shiraz. Another snipe.
Yeah, I think Soulmate is I think they're out there, but I think soulmates even then have something to work for or work towards. So just to say that you should go off and be with someone just because they're your soulmate, I think it's just a little bit putting the cart before the horse type deal.
So here's my favorite part of this. So, however, the author has had a small number of supporters who commended her for writing her emotional truth. I hate emotional truth.
Yeah.
She actually didn't ruin her life for nothing, one defender wrote.
Okay.
She left a marriage that most likely needed to end. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been swayed by another. It looks like she's happy and making the best of the situation. Her ex-husband is probably happier too. Sounds like a win.
But what about the children?
Nobody gives a rat's ass
I
about
guess kids. Not. Yeah. I would agree in somewhat of a sense if she didn't have kids. She's got to take responsibility for bringing them up in a good environment.
You got kids, man.
Yeah.
So she reportedly now works as a life coach and does not appear to have reconciled with her ex-husband.
I wonder if she has, what the real question is does she have any customers?
I bet you she does. Because you know what? There's a lady here in this town. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to name names.
Okay.
But you know about the story.
Okay.
About a lady in this town who went away on a girls' trip, cheated on her husband, comes back, admits to the cheating to the husband. The husband goes, don't worry. I am upset, but we've talked about this, that if something like this were to happen and one of us made a mistake, we would work through it. She goes, no, I don't want to. Then goes on Facebook.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And then blasts on Facebook about her truth. And she goes, all right, guys, I'm going to be 100% honest here.
Yeah, and then it's nothing but lies.
And then it was nothing but lie. It had nothing to do with her cheating. It just said that they were both unhappy because they weren't really meant for each other, and totally explicitly left out the whole having sex with a dude on a girl's trip. And then turns around, and she is now a life coach. So I don't know what it is about these broads who are ruining their marriages and then going and being, I'm going to be a life coach now.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a connection I'm not seeing between the two.
No.
Yeah.
You got to be divorced before you become a life coach.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah, it really ruins the saying, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
She's just completely like, nope, not going to be a wife, but my life's good, I guess.
Yeah. And I'm going to teach you, every single one of you women, how to do what I just did.
It seems schemy and scummy.
Yeah.
What they're doing. I could not see that their life, I would say maybe they're more secure in themselves.
Oh.
And maybe that's led to more fortune from them. But I don't think that going about things in this way is actually healthy.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, guys, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a crazy one.
Yeah, I figured we'd end with that.
Would you leave your partner who you promised yourself to for your soulmate who doesn't even seem that into you?
Yes. Yes.
Apparently you're not their soulmate.
Wait, what happened? Wait. Oh, that was like it was out for everybody else? I'm sorry, guys. We got to end this podcast real quick.
Yeah.
I apologize for that. This is awkward.
I'm going to have to handle you like a herd.
I saw her once at a 7-Eleven. She was drinking straight out of the Slurpee. Oh, my God.
That was the best part, is mixing all the slushies.
Yeah, all right. You're not the same as her. All right.